Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is spiritual war has now begun. That's not good. That's literally not good. This is going to be an intense conversation that we have. And this conversation really, I hope, and it's definitely my intent, to use this conversation as a way to empower and mentally prepare us for the period that's coming. Tomorrow is a big deal. It's a very big deal. So there's a solar eclipse tomorrow. It's partial. And it's a new moon. And I believe, is it like equinox or something like that? Solstice. I don't know. I don't follow those things too well. But it's something. It's something. Where the days are starting to get shorter and things are getting darker. Okay. So I'm going to be live tomorrow during the eclipse time. Well, I don't know what time the eclipse happens, but I'm going to be live tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is a period where you really need to make sure that you're very aware of where you're at within yourself, within your journey, what you're allowing and what you're no longer going to allow. A lot of what spiritual warfare has to do with is corrupting your perspective. Hold on, I forgot to open window for me to be able to see TikTok. There we go. A lot of what spiritual warfare has to do with is manipulation. A lot of like bait and switch, mind games, a lot of triggering, a lot of all of that type of stuff. If you're aware, then what ends up happening is none of that is able to work. So expect a lot of attempts to trigger on a global scale, on a personal scale, a lot of different types of organic portal activity, NPC type activity. Okay, let's get started. Let's see. Oh, shit. Okay, guys, this information is going to be like, is what this is going to be, okay? So, High Priestess of Water and the Grove. Typically, these conversations that we have are conversations that are intended to kind of create more introspection, more opportunity to see ways in which you could like fine tune, adjust, pivot within your own personal journey. The way these cards are presenting right now, this is a call to arms. Which then makes sense why I made Jedi armor and War Code activation available for the very first time ever. This is full-blown spiritual warfare. So High Priestess of Water and the Grove. Immediately, what I'm getting from this is that there are things being set loose from the earthly abyss. Think in terms of Mariana Trench. Think in terms of sinkholes. Think in terms of things that modern humans have not seen or interacted with. Our like ancient ancestors, they interacted with these things. We've never. There are chambers that have opened, and I don't know if any of this will make sense. Okay, I don't think it's meant to, but just file this away somewhere in the back of your head. Old chambers have been opened. These are chambers that were once sealed shut. When one door opens, another door in another time space also opens. So there is a coming through of something. And whatever this something is, it is a malignancy. Okay? The differences between the malignancies, because in different matrices, different levels of dimensional consciousness, there are different types of malignancies. And layman's terms, demonic shit. There's a lot of different types of demonic shit. They typically don't work together. They're setting aside their fucking differences. The only time demonic things set aside their differences is when they choose to work together to overthrow. A coup d'etat has been initiated. I'm being told to share. I typically will see things if, like, late at night, if I have to go pee or whatever. The mirrors in my master bedroom are large. I think most master bedrooms have large mirrors. Now that I think about it, everywhere that I've lived, the master bedroom mirrors are large in the bathroom. So anyways, I went to the restroom last night, and I'm accustomed to seeing like little things, creepy crawly stuff. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm going back to sleep. And it doesn't scare me. Last night, I went to the restroom, and rather than like little creepy crawly things that I typically will see that are not in this 3D plane of existence, that's not what I was seeing in my periphery. I saw this really large thing. It's quarter of my eye. It was really, really large. What are they called? Nazgul on Lord of the Rings, like a ring wraith. That's what I saw, and I was like, whatever. God, don't bother me. I'm going back to sleep. I went back to my bed. I went back to sleep. That's a big deal. The reason it's a big deal is because of its posturing. Now, if there are malignant things that are attempting to use mirrors to gain access to your sacred spaces, and they are pounding on the glass and all of those type of things, they're clawing at it, pounding and like, to me, that's like a sign that they're locked out. They're pissed off. They're locked out. Oh my God, major confirmation. No, Minopod. I just got a notification that dropped down on my freaking phone for TikTok, and it said major confirmation. Virgo, major confirmation. This eclipse that we're about to have is in Virgo. Okay, so when something malignant is trying to use a mirror to gain access to your space and it is standing there very calm, that means it knows how to get through. Do you understand what I'm saying? There was no pounding on the glass. There was nothing. It was simply there watching, observing from a space of neutral observation how I would react. Because I was just like, ugh, whatever, ew, I'm going back to sleep. There was no fear. It knew it couldn't use that moment to try and overtake. Hey, bottom line is this. I don't give a fucking shit how injured my body is. Spiritual warfare is not the same as physical. Don't get that shit twisted. No matter what state my physicality is in, I am fucking formidable. No, I don't have to be worried. I don't say that from a space of cockiness. That is a declaration. I know my power. and you will not enter my space with no consequence. I don't give a shit how many ribs are dislocated at one time. If you can't exist with that knowing of how powerful you are and how much of your space you own, you better start learning how to exist in that way. Spiritual warfare is about convincing you you don't have the autonomy and the sovereignty that you actually have. And if something can convince you of that, no matter how much you want to say about I'm making declarations, I'm this and I'm that, and all of these labels, and I have matters. If the energy don't mean shit. And I am destabilizing my Wi-Fi. Let me tone it down. Let me tone it down. This is a period where you need to come out of your shell. Something wants you in your shell. The more you withdraw into yourself, the less secure you are, the less energy you'll have towards the surface level to be able to utilize it for what you need. It's like the difference between having liquid assets and assets that, yeah, on paper, maybe you're a multimillionaire, but you can't access that. It's locked into real estate. It's locked into a CD. It's locked in to whatever accounts that you can't access. You're still struggling. Yeah, on paper, you look wealthy. You look rich. But are you? You can't access it. You pull your energy in too far, you won't be able to access that readily. You won't. You won't be able to access that. And if you don't know how to access rapidly this energy to use to secure your field, your space, that's going to be really, really difficult to overcome. It's not impossible. It is not impossible, but it's going to be really, really difficult to overcome. So now you're needing to allow yourself to let your power rise to the surface. You have to. You can't just allow this. If you just allow it. So tomorrow, it starts a process that will last for about 6 months. And it's going to be started tomorrow. Regardless of what you do for the next 6 months, whatever is initiated tomorrow, it's going to go all the way through for 6 months. It's going to go all the way through to your core. So if you choose to exist as though you are still a fledgling, and you are not, you've lived many, many lives. Let's stop pretending that we're newbies. You're not. Do you understand how rare it is for me to find someone who's lived less than maybe 10 lives? That's so fucking rare. That is so rare. So, 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 so rare. In my career of over 13,000 clients, I've maybe come across one, maybe two. And these were people who had such a high concentration of angelic genome that they had chromosomal disruption. They were disabled. They were mentally handicapped. Nonverbal, mentally handicapped. Do you know how rare it is to actually come across someone that hasn't lived very many human lives, human existences? You are not a newbie. This is not your first time here. It's not your second, it's not your third, it's not your 10th, it's not your 15th. On average, when I come across people, I am allowed to be aware of maybe 50-ish, 60 lives. The whole detail, no, I don't want to know all that. I don't want to know all that. But I become aware at least about 50 lives. if you're going to try and continue to convince yourself that you don't have the capacity, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have any of these things, your fulfillment will fail. And I know people want to hear, the nice things in these readings. They want to hear me say, cutesy things, funny things, things that make them feel good. There's no time for that. This is not the appropriate time to fill you with all kind of bullshit. We're entering into spiritual war. People can say whatever they want. They can have their opinions all they want about, oh, she's peddling fear. What am I selling you? What am I selling you? What am I selling? That I'm trying to scare you into buying something. What is it? As a matter of fact, go to my website. Try and purchase a private session. Y'all do me a favor. Go to my website. Go right now, meevolving.com. Try and get a private session from me. Try and purchase an extraction. Doesn't that tell you something? My soul has me on lockdown. In a world where many of the social media gurus, they're panicking, they're live hours on end every single day, trying so hard to cling to their income. They're producing all kind of just cash grab opportunities for themselves. You notice how I've gone quiet. Do you notice? I've gone quiet. The things that I'm very well versed in. Parasitic extraction, that's a specialty of mine. I don't offer it to anyone. Very good at private sessions. Short of something medical in nature, I don't offer that anymore either. Think on that. Why did I go from live streaming pretty much every day to, I wonder if she's going to come live this week? Think on that. There's a lot of things that are happening. And if you're going to allow yourself to be afraid of what's happening rather than sitting in stillness and letting your soul guide you as to where you need to be, when you need to be there, what you're supposed to do when you're there. They're looking for carriers. I will not carry anything. They're looking for carriers. There's a hybridization program that was put into play a while back. It's not a human hybridization program. It has to do with oath deception. They've been trying to create another species. Why do you think parasitic things have gone ahead and hybridized over and over and over the past 8 or 9 years? I've done nothing but watch the ways in which they are taking other parasitic species, splicing it with this master species, harvesting the most potent aspects of what they're hybridizing with. We're speaking apex predator. And we've all been training it. We've all been helping it to map the human mind through what? AI. I'm not allowed to speak on Musk. Musk is a carrier. Musk is a carrier. Carrier of what? An ancient god. Lowercase g. May he remember his place. It's not with a capital. You need to allow yourself to believe in your capacity to have gratitude for the difficulties that you're going to face. These difficulties, you need to have gratitude because they are the very invitation for you to rise, for you to increase in your awareness of your power, your capacity, your efficient, effective use of your potentiality. Whatever it is that's going to happen, you need to be able to sit still so that you can understand with clarity what your soul is encouraging you to do. A lot of the ways in which they're going to create another degree of, I guess you could say, spiritual mitosis is by way of free spirit or self-worth. If you can exist as a free spirit, meaning you're just going to flow with whatever it is your soul is presenting you, you're going to try your best to be as fully present as possible, and you're going to receive the instruction from soul, then you're going to get through this period perfectly fine. You might be inconvenienced here and there. I mean, shit, I've been inconvenienced the entire 2025. It's a fucking inconvenience what's happened to me in 2025. But I'm flowing with it. I'm flowing with it. If you can do that, beautiful. The fire won't touch you. You'll realize you're made of sacred fire and you won't burn. This is nothing but your baptism through the flames. However, if you're going to try and hold on to the way this world functions because your worth is tied to other people's approval, it's tied to how people respond to your social media content, it's tied to how many people you can get to back you up. Do you know how many people I've faced all by myself? And everyone want to pick on me and tear me down. I don't give a shit, bitches. You think I give a fuck? That's my whole fucking life. That's literally my whole fucking life. I've never been accepted. Are you kidding me? I've never been accepted. The only time that I have had community is when I no longer sought it out. And you know what happened? The people who have the same experience as me, they ended up finding me. And we became a community because we're just over trying to fit in. We're done with trying to tiptoe around because your existence, just existing, is enough to offend the people who need you to comply. Because, I mean, who do you think you are being a free spirit? Well, I think I'm exactly who I was made to be. This is all I can be. I don't have it in me to fake anything. I just don't. If my existence offends you, you should go watch someone else. If I'm too much, go find less. If I'm not enough, go find more. But I'm exactly who I am, on screen and off. I am exactly who I am. So then what does that do? Well, for me, it solidifies my worth is not based on anything external. And in the days where I experience a reduction in my view of my actual worth, those are days where I'm being invited to dig deeper and find more powerful, beautiful truth about myself. That's what those days are for. And the days where I'm feeling myself, those are days where I am experiencing tangible proof of my progression through my healing journey. There is nothing outside of me that will validate me more potently and more accurately than my own acceptance of me as I am in this moment, knowing I will continue to shift and change and grow. This spiritual warfare, it's about making you hate yourself even more. Because when you're so busy hating yourself, you begin to normalize people mistreating you. You begin to normalize all of this ugliness that you never deserved. And, I have been through that. I have experienced that at my own hands. And when my soul was trying to tell me enough is enough, stop doing that to myself, and I wouldn't listen and I couldn't see it, you know what my soul did? It drew to me the people who are reflections, externalized projections of my own internalized self-hatred. And as long as I hated myself for existing, those people were drawn to me. Those people were emboldened by my insecurity. Here's one thing you'll notice in the live streams. For the most part, people are respectful. One second. Let me just da 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 da. Let me see. There we go. Out. For the most part, you'll find that people are respectful in the live streams. My live streams are not a free-for-all in the comments. People are respectful of each other. Why? Because I won't tolerate anything else. I will not tolerate anything else. Why? Because I will no longer tolerate my own disrespect to myself. I'm no longer fighting a war. I'm not. I refuse. Is it a form of avoidance? No. It's evidence of me getting out through the other side. That internal war, it will be externally projected during this period where many people will be accessed. Remember, about 75% of the world population are organic portals. Why? Well, because 2 out of the 3 children, Adam and Eve, they became tainted, their bloodlines. It was interbred with Lilith's demonic children. So there's a lot of people who exist, and they're not bad people, but they are in fact organic portals. They're Uber rides for demonic things. And sometimes the demonic activity that they'll be tasked to participate in, that they'll be used as a vessel to deliver to you, is by simply irritating you, causing conflict for you, causing inconvenience for you, causing you to become so triggered that you back away from the very thing that you need to do. Sometimes these things won't even use an organic portal. They'll simply take advantage of your newly developing ability to hear, because you think you're talking to yourself, right? In reality, that's thought inception. You are experiencing thought inception. That is a demonic activity. They will use the sound of your voice to communicate to you specific thought patterns that are intended to get you stuck in a thought loop. And then you hyperfixate on that. And now you're preoccupied and they're breaching your shields. You have no idea because you're so busy attacking yourself. Spiritual warfare is not how they portray it in movies. It's very covert. It's very subtle. And it requires you still hating yourself. Most empaths hate themselves. Why? Because as part of us developing our empathy to the degree that we have early in our childhood, when that empathy was first forced on, we were existing in an environment that gave us no permission to be there. We were blamed for things. We were made to feel that we are the reason. Our families, our parents, our siblings, the environment we had no choice but to survive in was the way it was because of us. Do you know the more empathic you are, the more pronounced the abuse you suffered as a child? Do you realize that? I have not come across a person who is extremely gifted and very well versed in harnessing their gifts that hasn't suffered tremendously through their childhood. I'm not talking about you're emo. You're just like super dramatic and super sensitive. No, I'm talking about some pretty intense types and forms of actual abuse. I haven't come across one. Not a single one. It's the traumas that you live through that force open, that dilate those pathways, that give you the ability to still access the gifts that are at the end of that pathway. I was born premature. I was born premature, and I was born in a third world country. I almost died at birth. It was an emergency C-section. And the trauma hasn't stopped since. What's that mean? I'm cursed? It's because I'm wicked and that's my karma. No, not at all. Do you understand how clever your soul is? How so fucking intelligent the design of your life is? Let's use me as an example. The world sees a Piscean, softness, Delulu. Oh, she's just so adorable. What hides behind the sun is the moon. What's my moon? Capricorn. You can call me daddy. You understand how protected all Capricorns are? And I'm done hiding. So what most people see on display most times at this point is straight Capricorn energy. You want to block my path? I'll fucking ram you with my horns. Oh, because I'm a demon? No, because I'm a sea goat. You want to drown me? I don't have to hold my breath. I exist in the deep. I'm not a mermaid. I don't have to come up for air. I can go very deep and stay there indefinitely. Why did my soul program this life in that way? Because I'm perfectly designed for the purpose I came into this life to fulfill. You are perfectly designed for this period. All you have to do is be aware that an actual spiritual war has already begun. And the window that's being opened by this eclipse, it's a short window. They are transporting something through that window. What is it? It's something that requires you to think you have no self-worth. It's up to you if you want to believe that. I'm not going to try and convince you differently because you are in charge of your journey and your path. If you want to believe I'm talking to everyone else but you are absolutely free to do that. Am I speaking to everyone else but you? No, I'm speaking directly to you. But again, it's up to you how you want to receive this message. Because for far too long, um, us empaths, those of us who are here as part of a spiritual team that's supposed to facilitate, not save, okay, not save. We're here to facilitate a specific process. For far too long, you have excluded yourself from the very group you were born into. And that is the group that's going to choose to rise. It's up to you. I'm not going to convince you. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to convince you what will end up happening if you choose the same patterns. Well, the same unhappiness that you've had, but amplified. It's going to get worse. But no buts. I don't try and convince me you deserve happiness. I already believe you do. You're the only one that doesn't believe it. I can't override your sovereignty. You're choosing that. So if you want to choose more of that, that's your choice. Would I choose that for you? Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Why would I choose that for you? I wouldn't. Why? Because I believe you're a good person and you should be happy. That's why. It's as simple as that to me. But if, I don't know, you feel like you still need to choose this or that, okay? I'll share this with you guys. So I had family over and we were, it was some time back. Uh, we were using a muscle stimulator and they had just gotten it and they had tried it on a specific body part and they enjoyed how it stimulated the muscle and it made them feel more solid in their joints, like it helped to strengthen that joint. And then they wanted to do it to another body part and I was like, I don't think you should do that. I didn't share why, because I always want to respect people, but I was like, I don't think you should do that. And they insisted. So our other family friend, excuse me, who also didn't feel like they should do that, I was like, okay, well, I mean, you're choosing to, so I will help you attach the electrodes to your body so you could do what you want to do. And then I said, like, I don't know that that's a good idea. And they're like, no, it'll be fine. And then I said, okay, I'm just going to watch and see what happens. At which point they're like, why? Nothing. I'm just going to watch and see what happens. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. My gut tells me you shouldn't do that. And when I ask my gut why, it says because you'll rupture your Achilles tendon, meaning you'll tear it. You'll tear your Achilles. That's not good. And I didn't say that though, but because I said, okay, I'll just watch and see what happens. They're like, no, I'm not going to do it. So they didn't do it. They were weirded out by me, which good. And then they went and they saw a professional who was working on some of their injuries. And that professional did share, like, yeah, one more injury, you'll tear that Achilles. I was like, oh, good. Okay. So it was accurate. Did they tear their Achilles? No. Why? Because they chose to not experience whatever it was. They didn't need that in real life experience for them to listen to the urge of soul. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. I'll tell you a few times, like, I don't think that's a good idea. You're still free to do whatever you want to do, but you're going to have to live with it. I won't. You will. I won't. You will. That's how life works. If you're going to continue to choose to remain in the same cycles that have kept you trapped, kept you feeling as though you're trapped, kept you feeling as though you are not enough, you will never be enough. Is it because you're not enough? No, it's because you're playing the role of someone who is not enough. That's the only reason why. So my 2025 has gone to shit. Why? Because I allowed myself to believe that I was injured beyond repair. I allowed rather than implementing the things that I needed to implement. And you know what dawned on me today? I went to the gym. I still have a compressed disc. That's fine. I have a corset on. Bitch, you'll be fine. If it feels compromised, don't do that fucking movement. Do a different one. You'll be fine. So that's what I'm telling myself, right? And then, I'm working on the TRX bands and I feel the disc compress, ridiculous amount of pain. I stopped immediately. And then I stood there for a moment and I was like, bitch, aren't you fucking certified in corrective exercise? Like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I am. Okay, let me adjust the movement. It's not that I have to stop that movement. It's that I wasn't at the right angle when I was moving. I adjusted the movement and I was able to do what I needed to do. It's a modification, slight modification, but it preserved the integrity of my spine. It's not that I'm incapable. It's that I'm allowing myself to kind of backslide ever so slightly into a space of believing I can't do this, I can't do that. Yes, the fuck I can. Yes, I can. Was it comfortable? No, it wasn't. But it's in that discomfort that you grow. It's within that space of discomfort that you actually begin to learn exactly what you're capable of. I will rebuild my entire body. It's not, I'm going to try. No, I will rebuild my entire body. I don't give a shit how many nights I have to go to bed crying. I will rebuild my entire body. My legs are already coming back. Good. Still got a long way to go. Acknowledge, but don't get so comfortable in the acknowledgement of your accomplishment that you start acting like you can do less work. This spiritual warfare requires you to be ever so present, holding yourself accountable, not just for the ways in which you've fallen short, but also acknowledging the ways in which you have shown up. You've shown up, you have made progression, maybe not to the degree that you want, but keep at it and you will. Yo, last week I couldn't stand upright. Today, I'm balancing on a Bosu ball. I don't even need the TRX bands. I can balance zero movement, completely solidified in my body in less than a week. Are you kidding me? And I still have a herniated disc. How am I doing this? Because I'm connecting with the core of the reality of who I am. At my core, I'm fucking strong. I will not allow myself to entertain any other thought. It's uncomfortable, then do what it takes to become comfortable in your existence again. That is how you overcome. That mindset is how you get through this spiritual warfare unscathed. You want to bring demons? I don't give a shit. We're not compatible. Whatever demons come my way, they will be miserable in my presence. I will not back down and I will not shrink. That's the bottom line. You want to be around me? Be fucking uncomfortable around me. I will not back down and I will not shrink. Never again will I allow myself to do that. Not mentally, not emotionally, not physically, not in any way, shape, or form. Does that mean I'm not going to be uncomfortable? That means I give myself permission to be uncomfortable until I fully reclaim my power and my health. I don't care how long it takes. And because I don't care how long it takes, all I care about is showing up every day. It's going to take less time. It's going to take less time. It's going to go faster and faster and faster. And every milestone that I reach, it will accelerate my process. All you got to do is reach that milestone. I've reached a milestone. It's been a week. What's that milestone? I don't feel like I'm going to die after 5 minutes. Yeah, that's a milestone. But I mean, can you lift 5-pound weights? No. No. Wow, but then that means you're not strong. No, it doesn't. That's a milestone for later on. My ego is not going to be driving this car as I drive down the path of healing. No. When it's time for me to lift 5-pound weights, I will lift 5-pound weights. By the time I can lift 5-pound weights, I will be able to increase the weight every 4 days until I'm back to my proper form. I'm not in a rush. I want to heal things right this time. Why? Because I deserve it. I don't deserve to only feel healthy and look healthy. I deserve to truly be healthy within myself, outside of myself, in my thoughts, in my emotions, in every aspect of me. This spiritual warfare, I don't give a shit what they're fighting about. I don't. They're fighting over you guys. I'm not part of that. Why? Because I will cooperate. Demons don't like me. They don't. It's fine. It's mutual. I don't like them bitches anyways either. I don't want to be their friends. Are you kidding me? They don't like me. They're not gunning for me because they don't like me. I put up a fight. Yeah. You though, if you're not going to put up a fight, I don't know. They're going to inconvenience you quite a bit. Quite a bit. It's up to you though, because look, all of these cards, they're upside down. Light code injection, awaken gnosis, awaken, clarifier, galactic assistance. They want you feeling stuck, feeling like there's no support. There's no actual celestial team that has had your back this entire time. They want you feeling that way. They want you feeling like it's everyone else that's going to transcend this ugliness. Well, if you want it to be everyone else, it can be. Sovereignty, remember? Sovereignty. I wouldn't agree. I would make it difficult for them. I would be the biggest fucking thorn in their side. That's why most people don't like me. Well, no, I can't say that. I can't say most people don't like me. I will say, and this is more accurate, for the people who don't like me, most of them don't like me because I don't play along. I don't do the fake shit. If I don't like you, I won't be around you. And if I'm forced to be around you, I'll look at you like, and if you talk to me, I won't talk back. I'll just be like, I don't like you, right? It makes people feel uncomfortable. Why? Well, because you know exactly what you'll get from me, which is always the truth. Meaning, if you're a shitty person, I won't sit here and pretend that you're my BFF because I would never befriend a shitty person. I just wouldn't. Would I wish harm on you? No, you're not my problem. People don't like that. They don't like that they can't control me. They can't predict how their manipulations will go. I once had a guy try to intimidate me. He tried to intimidate me. He tried to do all kind of like witchcraft stuff on me and yada da 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 da. So it's funny because I know he had done some research on me. It wasn't a client or anything like that. It's someone who became aware of the work that I do and began searching me up online. And I became like, it's kind of like the best game they could ever play because they thought they were going to dominate me. They were attempting to do witchcraft and stuff on me to try and dominate me. That's not how it works with me. So, long story short, this individual, they were like a landlord. And they were trying to force their way into the house so they could place anchor points for their witchcraft to breach the perimeter of the house. And they tried to involve legalities where I can't deny them access to the home for specific types of things. It's within the lease. And they said they were going to enter the property to check smoke detectors they wanted in the house. And it would be the following day. They were giving me 24-hour notice. By legality, I'm not allowed to deny that. They could enter the property without me there. They have a key. So I didn't have to respond. They gave me legal notice. They weren't asking for permission. They gave me legal notice. And so the plan was I was not going to be home because I don't want to see their nastiness. But I will have cameras in the home and at the front of the home to document everything that they're doing inside the home. Well, the time and date came, they didn't come. All of this is being recorded, timestamped, digitally timestamped. All of this being recorded an hour after they were supposed to have arrived. They then email me that they were denied access. And I said, that's a lie. I have video footage that you never arrived, you never knocked on the door, you never used your key to enter the premises. You gave me notice and I did not deny you notice. Because you never confirmed. I don't need to confirm. You gave me a legal notice. I will not play this game with you. And then what's funny, he thought he was going to force me to continue to live there. And when we left, he thought he was going to harvest our hair from the carpet and from the drains. Except my soul said, pour liquid plumber down all the drains multiple times. It degrades the DNA in the drains. And then have the carpets professionally cleaned. He won't get any DNA. So, did he continue? They tried. Even after I'd left already. My family and I, we left. And then what happened? Well, all he did was piss off my ancestors because I know in this life I'm Asian. I'm Asian AF. I love it. In several of my previous lives, as Haitian, all he did was piss off my Haitian ancestors. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm not really into magic and stuff like that. Like, I try and stay out of that arena. I will share this. If there's only one type of magic that you never fuck with, it's the Haitians. You never. Don't fuck with them. Do not cross them. Do not do any of that. Steer clear. I believe in respecting all people. Two types of people I never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever allow myself to interfere with what's happening. Haitian and Indigenous. I leave those alone. Is it out of fear? No. I will always respect my ancestors from those lives. If they've cursed the land, it's for a reason. If they're doing something to you, it's for a reason. And I will never go against my people from those lives. Never. And like I had to learn because I did something. No, I shared in a live stream. I was like, you're just pissing off my Haitian ancestors. I don't even have to deal with you. And after that, they stopped. Why? Because even they knew. I don't play with demons. I don't. And I have layer upon layer upon layer of prayers of all my ancestors through all my lives. This spiritual war, I am not part of it. Why? Because I don't want to be. It's not about fear. It's about allowing my energy to be used for what I want to create. That's what they want. They want you to get sucked in and believe you have no choice. You have to feed this process. You have to feed that monster because you have to defend yourself. Why are you accessible to that bullshit? That's the problem. You're allowing yourself to be accessible to the very thing that should have never been allowed to touch you in the first place. So they want you to not trust yourself. They also keep the support you count on. See what I'm saying? I just got a notification. It says keep the support you count on. They want you to not trust yourself and they want you to rely on someone else because, oh, past life, twin flame. No, you're a whole being on your own. Once you can begin to realize that, you'll get inspired to begin, loving yourself, free from judgment, free to love. You simply have to love yourself and accept yourself. Embrace yourself as you are. Be the hunter, not the hunted, in reverse. This is about pursuing, right? Sit back this time. Stop doing the predictable. You see, when demonic things, demonic people engage you, they're engaging you because they are predicting what you will do. They already have something planned for that. The last demonic motherfucker who tried to engage me, that person had planned that, ooh, our communities are going to go head to head. No, the fuck they're not. I don't give a shit what you and your community do. You will be receiving a legal notice, though. You will not engage my community, you fucking harvesting succubus bitch. You will not. And then they tried so hard too. They tried so hard to force engagement to the point where they were talking about you guys like, oh, look, her community don't even respect her. They don't love her. No one's standing up for her. And I'm like, no, guys, y'all know my heart. You don't got to explain shit. Fuck those bitches. You don't have to explain shit. I'm not asking you to. I don't want you to. Stay out of it. How'd that turn out? How'd that turn out? I don't keep tabs, so I don't know what's happening at this point, but last my soul showed me, and I don't know why it kept showing it to me because I kept blocking the fucking account. They were fucking cosplaying me down to my mannerisms. I was like, ooh, girl, that's fucking embarrassing. You got served a legal notice, fucking shook you. And then you couldn't. You wasted all your poppets on me while I was live. Still didn't do shit to me. And then you were so desperate that you were like, maybe I'll just pretend to be her. I don't know shit. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you deal with demons. Let them waste their energy, time, and resources. That is how you deal with the demonics. I gotta go. I just saw the time. Okay, guys, I completely forgot to mention. I'm live tomorrow, solar eclipse ceremony, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In addition to that, I'm doing expedites. So for those on all other platforms except for TikTok, go to the link in the comments or click on the QR code on the screen. For those on TikTok, simply go to my Hubi link in my bio and look for the solar eclipse ceremony. The offerings that have a diamond next to it, those are brand new. I'm telling you. Have you guys ever heard of the Jedi? DJEDI. Yeah, because I'm so fucking sick of the demonic shit. I'm offering for the first time the armor of the Jed, as well as activation of war codes. Because if these motherfuckers want war, I spent existences training the Jed. Did you know all it takes is one Jed to level an entire nation? All it takes is one fighting against hundreds of thousands. Only one. Level that entire fucking field. And I still know how to do that. And then we can activate that in you. Because fuck that shit. I'm tired of the bullies. I gotta go. I gotta talk to my church. So I'm gonna be heading over to the sanctuary. We're gonna be having a very intense chat about many, many things. And then I will see you guys tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. There's an eclipse, fall equinox, new moon, fuckery afoot. Fun times. Fun times. I'll see you guys again very soon. Hi, Adrian. I'll see you guys again very soon.